We are easy learners.
Oh, we are all collectively.
Well, if it's not fantastic, then we're freaking lying, and you know where liars go.
Counseling.
Yes, lots of it.
So it's a beautiful day here, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's a fantastic day to be an agent here in Arizona. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and houses are flying off the market ridiculously fast. I'm seeing a lot of people post on Facebook and other social media some ad generating posts, and I'm not seeing a bunch of your guys' names, which I'd like to change that. So why don't you guys get out your sphere of influences and start asking for help? I know you've got buyers that we need to find houses for. We got people out there that need to sell their house that are scared because they still think that this is a terrible time to sell a house. We need to educate them otherwise.
It's the best time to sell a house. My gosh.
Really is. Well, Emily, let's get some new insight from you. What are you seeing out there? What is one pearl that you can give us from the world of the Erickson team?
From the Erickson team, make sure you're connecting with other realtors outside of Tucson. The majority of my buyers right now are referrals. So we have 2 or 3 referrals every single month from people that we met at family reunion, people that just have looked at my profile and things that I put on command. Hey, I've done bold. Now I can put, I've done bold pivot. They see how many buyers and sellers you're working with and answer your damn phone. Because I've had several realtors call me and say, hey, you are the 4th realtor I've tried to call and nobody's answering my phone. So you're getting my referral. And I'm like, great. I answered it at 8:30 at night because you're in Hawaii and it's 3 hours earlier and I'll take your $500,000 buyer. That's great. Thank you.
I sent one to an agent in Virginia, the same thing.
Yeah.
9 o'clock their time, they answered the phone.
Exactly. I've done that to a gal in Oklahoma. I'm like, I'm helping my cousin buy a house in Oklahoma. Answer your phone. Cause I was probably, I think I called 6 people before someone answered. So answer your phone.
I love that. To pair off on that, I got the chance to sit down and have a little conversation with Danny Roth at a football tailgate when I first started with the company. And Billy Neal kind of pulled Danny aside and said, hey, Dan, meet Danny. Danny, meet Dan. Danny's, the Danny Roth. And I had no idea who he was because, well, I'd been with the company for about 32 seconds. And then Danny explained, then Billy explained who Danny was. And then Billy's like, Danny, what are 2 pieces of advice you'll give Dan to help him be more successful in real estate? The first thing he said was answer your damn phone. He's like, I don't care what you're doing, answer your phone. And just explain to your clients and the people that you're with, hey, I do apologize that if I'm ever with you and the phone rings, I will answer it. I will be short, brief, and get off the phone. I don't typically stay very long. It's not to be rude. It's just to make sure that my clients can get a hold of me. And just know that when I'm not with you and you need to get a hold of me, you'll be able to as well. Set that expectation. That alone has made me money. Like Emily's saying, just picking up the phone. I got one last night, a listing lead that says, hey, I called the realtor that sold me the house. He didn't answer. I need some help. And you sold my friend Matt a house. Can you help me? Yes, I can. It's 9 o'clock at night. I'm watching some car show on Netflix and phone rings. Most people would look at it and go, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'm not answering that. Got to remember, it's ringing for money.
Yeah. And if you do answer it at 9 o'clock at night, you can still be very brief. You can like, yes, I would love to help you. Let me get your information. I'll give you a call in the morning.
Yeah,
right there.
Set an appointment for 4 p.m. when he gets off work today.
Yeah, make it short. It doesn't have to be long.
Love it. Good stuff. I like to see that. Good morning, Miss Gail. Let's put on her makeup. She's a PCF.
Good morning.
Phoenix Market.
I'm one of those women that drives down the freeway and puts on lipstick.
That's safe.
Yeah.
Me too.
I can imagine you would be.
So I read an article yesterday. It talked about the importance of connection during this time right now, because this has been one of the most socially influencing times of ours, like in modern day humanity. Not just the fact that we have this massive pandemic with an extremely contagious bacterial strand and virus and this disease and everything that it is. I'm not sure exactly what it is because I'm not educated like that. But what it has done, and I do know a lot of, is the social impact it's done for us. It's changed the way that we've looked at our business. It's changed the way that we're handling social interaction, and it's forever going to change the face of commerce. Now, when you guys are dealing with stuff, you got to realize that people aren't as keen on physical contact and not as keen as close distancing. So even as we open the world back up, you'll notice people are standing further apart. There's less handshakes. There's less hugs goodbye. There's a lot of this distancing, which creating a subliminal and a subconscious gap between where people were and where people are. So the way you handle things is a lot differently. And one of those big bridges they talk about in this article was humor. Humor reconnects you to people. So these morning calls we have like that, I try to keep them light. We have fun, talk in a higher pitched voice, slow your tone down when you need to be serious. Don't drop your octave. Don't be mean. But try to laugh with them. You don't need to be a stand-up comedian, but be lighthearted, knowing that people are going through some stuff. Even if they seem like they're fine on the surface, just having a quick laugh or something that breaks tension, you'll notice a lot more of that energy gravitating back to you. So keep that in mind when you're having your conversations with both agents, your family, friends, clients, for sure, knowing that right now is extremely stressful for a lot of people. Some of us are not affected at all, and some of us are extremely affected. But in total, the whole world is at a shift right now, and that's the one thing that's kind of bridging that divide that we found out is humor elicits the same kind of dopamine release that physical contact does. Being light and jovial and having that same thing. So that's actually the cuddle hormone. So it's the same thing as giving a long hug or an embrace or something like that. So humor will release the same kind of response. So if you guys find yourself in a difficult situation or you feel like you're not moving in something, try to, elevate it. Have a little bit of laughter or just smiling and talking in tone, especially with another agent that's trying to bully. Yeah, Dick had something similar to that recently, huh, Dick?
I tell you, it's funny, but you're absolutely right, Dan. And I'm telling people that for years, most people wouldn't come within a 10-foot pole of me because they're standoffish. But now with the new rules, I've moved 4 foot closer to them.
Right. Closing that divide. You're moving forward in the world, Dick.
Yeah, always moving forward.
I like it. So, well, we are 10 minutes into our 30-minute session, and I like to get a little bit of mindset stuff out of the way. So I'd like you to all just clear your heads out, focus on Friday, and let's work on something. Angela, yesterday we beat the hell out of your roofing deal, and we talked about how to handle those objections and scripting when it comes to a Binzer and getting that done. Shook a lot of people's mentality. And I got a text from Angela halfway through the day that what happened?
The seller agreed to all of our terms and is going to have the roof done.
Woo! Go, Angela.
We are moving towards closing.
I didn't even have to say anything. He just said, when he called, I thought, oh my God, he goes, can I just use my own licensed contractor? And I was like, hell yeah, you can. So everyone's happy now.
He knew you were prepared. He heard that you took that call, and he got the group chat, everyone telling you what to say, and he's all, no, I'm not messing with them Keller agents. They dangerous.
Exactly.
We are a horde of excellence. So, what do we got today? I need a topic. We need something to work on, guys. This is Friday, which is kind of the free-for-all Fridays, if you will. Want to work on what you've got going on, get you set up for the weekend.
Hey, Dan,
Yes, ma'am.
I actually have one.
Woo!
Yeah, I know. I have so for those of you that don't know me, I've been an admin. I've been out of production for about probably 4 years now, working in admin and running teams and that kind of stuff. And I'm showing houses today for the first time in 4 years. So, can I have a little refresher course? Because I'm old and I forget things.
Well, first off, Ellen, remind Kathy to be nice to you. Otherwise, I'll talk to her.
I will. And you got that listing because you made her laugh.
Exactly. And not to be boastful or anything, but I want to just talk about the fact that she had 3 other agents in her house last week. I went out there on Memorial Day, made her laugh, and it's a $500,000 listing.
Nice.
So
Way to go, Dan.
no, that's not me. That came from a referral with a friend. So I'm just saying, like, knowing people, it has its benefits.
But your charming personality got you the job.
No, I'm not charming at all. I'm just well scripted.
Oh, come on, Dan. We know you're charming.
So, but yeah, Ellen, when you're working with the buyer, the one thing I will tell you that is super helpful is remind yourself it's not your house. Find their emotion. Walk in backwards when they open the door. See their face. See how the response is when they first see the house. You can tell when you first walk in if you got a dud or a rocket ship.
Absolutely. Okay.
So that's super helpful. Ask for feedback. Take notes. And I know what you're looking for. I know what you're kind of talking about. But there's a lot of things that we need to, vet first. Is the house size, what they're looking for, what's important to them, and then express those elements within the home itself. So not so much doing a buyer consultation on the road, but you kind of need to do that when you're in the house. The first house, if it's not ringing the bells, make sure you walk back through the checklist of what needs to happen, what are the must-haves, so you know if the next house is even going to be on that fit or anything. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I have a quick question. When you guys are showing houses, I used to put like a printout of the house and then a blank sheet of paper so that they could take notes. Is that something do you think that's a good idea, not good idea? What are your thoughts?
Can I answer that question?
Please.
I give them a sheet of the information of the house, but I also prepare a sheet that has like 10 or 12 different areas to check and to rate the house 1 through 5. Because after a while, a few houses will all start looking alike, and we write the name of the house on it. So when we sit back, what I want is have a post-mortem of our showing of houses for today. And we sit down and we say, okay, let's look at the scores. How do you feel? What's the worst one? What's the best one? What are ones we get rid of? Let's put a star by this one, because we're going to make it easier for them to make a decision. Now, if you haven't done, if they go out and see 5 duds, usually they have picked the ones because they'll see it on your MLS email with the houses that you found in the area they want. But you really want to start narrowing it down and making them make decisions all through the process.
Right. Emily, you kind of started talking, but you were muted. What did you have?
Yeah, I still print out the sheets and I just have them rate each sheet 1 to 10, or if you want to squeeze it down, I say 1 to 7 so they can't pick an even number in the middle. And just on the sheet itself. I mean, I don't do anything extra that much, and on the sheet I'll highlight, price and area or whatever, but I just have them mark it 1 through 7, and 7's the highest they can give something.
So a great feedback piece is when you're talking about the house and the recap, ask them, okay, on a scale of 1 to 7, I love that. I'm going to use that now, Emily. There is no middle. On a scale of 1 to 7, how do you rate this house, or a scale of 1 to 5? And whatever number they pick, you can ask them. So if they say it's a 5, all right, what would it take for this house to be a 7? Then you're going to flush out some objections. Or if they give it a 6, why not a 5?
Or you can keep it from a 1 to 10. You just tell them you can't choose 5.
Right. And then when you do a backwards thing like that, if they give it a 6 and not a 7, because they're like, it's a 6. Okay, great. Why wasn't it a 5? And then they'll tell you the things they loved about it. So that you can use those as an indicator. They're going to show what they really liked about it, what they really hated about it.
Awesome.
So
Cool.
Being able to pin down to it. And I love the 80-10-10 rule. Anyone else know what that is? Anyone else heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
I heard it yesterday, but I can't remember.
It's 80% of the house that you want, 10% of the stuff you're going to change anyway, or 10% of the stuff you can live with, and 10% of the stuff you're going to change anyways. There's no such thing as a perfect house.
Yep.
And I actually like this. I was in a $1 million, what do you call it? The $1 million tips and tricks with Danny Roth class a couple months back. And Danny says, I don't want to sell them the perfect house. I want this house to work for the next 5 to 10 years and then sell them another one.
Exactly.
So 80, 10, 10. It's 80% of the house that you've been dreaming of, 10% of the stuff that you can live with, and 10% of the stuff you're going to change anyways.
Absolutely. Hey, just another, another good one. Just a tidbit of information. If you guys are out showing houses, and I've used this before, it's if this house, if they're kind of wavering back and forth and they're like, yeah, we really like it, but, we're not really sure. If this house goes off the market tomorrow, okay? So we go home tonight, we think about it, and somebody else puts in an offer tonight. How are you going to feel about that tomorrow?
Exactly.
Guess what? It happened to me one time. They're like, we're going to think about it. We went home. It went off the market the next day.
Well, and things
They
are flying
called
off
me out.
today.
Well, and they called me up and they were just devastated. So I was like, luckily it fell out in the inspection, so we got the house. But yeah, that's a good line if they're waffling. So that was my little tidbit for the day.
I like it.
Can I add something that happened to me? And that's where finding everything about what they're looking for is important before you go show them a house. They wanted to see a house that they thought was the one. Well, after looking at it, then they wanted to make all these changes. And then the real curveball, after I'm doing all the research to see if that's feasible, their daughter wanted a pony. Of course, it's an HOA, no ponies. That would have eliminated that house before we ever even went to see that house. So I'm sure that's happened to you guys before too. It was a little eye-opening. So now I'm going to dig in deeper and see everything they want before we start traipsing around the country. So anyway, just to share.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I was showing people one time and they were like, secondary home, we want a budget of $155,000. And this was, 5-6 years ago, but still very unfeasible in the market at the time. But I was like, okay, I will show you $155,000 houses and I will sell you a $245,000 house, which is exactly what happened. Because they looked at those 155s and they went, oh my God, we don't want to do this. So sometimes it is an education process for your people. Unfortunately, the traipsing around and looking at stuff. But it's about asking those questions. Again, like Dan said, what about this house makes it a 7? What would make it a 6? And I really appreciate you guys letting me walk through this. Seriously, it's just like falling off a bicycle. You remember how to do it.
I broke my collarbone last time I fell off a bicycle. I don't want to remember that.
Don't do that, Dan. You take a lot of velocity when you go down, don't you?
I am the reason for earthquakes, my friends. This I know. Big man fall hard. But yeah, good stuff. I like it, guys. I love when you guys have like real world situations that we can apply to, because you can never understand just how informative that is for somebody that may be going through the exact same situation and does not want to bring it up and feel silly about asking these questions. Or you can sew a couple of these conversations together and really figure out how to, navigate something else. I know for a fact some of you guys have grown your confidence just by hearing other people struggle through some stuff. So please share. Let's learn from each other. This is what it's all about. Scripting and role play is about working on a situation and learning the best scripts and getting out of it so that when you're in the real world, you already know how to handle it.
Well, I know for a fact I've learned a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What were you about to say, Teresa?
I just said I know for a fact I'm learning a lot, and this is very beneficial. Even the days I don't say anything, I'm absorbing everything. Thank you, guys.
Ditto that, Teresa.
We're just proud of you, Tess. It looks like your vision board and your to-do list and all that stuff is growing. Whoo, doggy. Someone paid attention.
Something's getting there.
It's all right. Even a slow drip will take down a crater.
Yes. That's going to become my tagline. Okay.
Hey, where should I get the flyer that because I know when I go into MLS, there's something I print off, but that's for us. So where do I get the flyer that if I want to give it to, usually I just email them the information because then they have it forever and they don't throw it in the trash, I guess. But where would I get the flyer that's going to have the information on the particular house we're going to go look at?
You can print out the MLS input that you're looking at on your end and print out a public view, which will hide the agent remarks.
Okay.
And that private information. So
I thought so, but I just needed to double check. Perfect. I like I like the idea of doing like a pros and cons list. For some clients, I think that would work really well because some people are very, they like to have everything in its box. And that probably I would have liked that with my last client because they were so all over the place as far as what they wanted. It's like the story with the $155 house and ending up with a $245 house. That was totally them. It's like, it was a HUD home that was just in terrible shape to now we're going to go out to Marana and we're going to have a manufactured home that's completely contemporary and redone. And I did try to ask them, I told her, give me your top 5 non-negotiables you have to have. Well, she would never respond. That wasn't how she wanted to do business with me. She just wanted to, and then even yesterday I had to, she was just shooting me Zillow ads after Zillow ads. And I said, finally, I just said, okay, send me your top 5 and we will go look. And that's it. And this is how much time I have. And I really had to focus with her on time blocking her because it would be 10 o'clock at night and she'd be asking me random questions. And I thought, this could wait till tomorrow morning, She was a good client to have to learn lessons from and how to value my time, but still be a good agent. That's it.
set boundaries.
Congratulations, Angela, though.
Well, I did find her a house and we did put an offer in at 9:30 last night. We got it all, I emailed it off to the agent. So, and I texted her early this morning to let her know he has until 8 o'clock to respond. So don't text me all day long asking if I've heard from him because I promised I'd tell her as soon as I did.
I'm gonna go off a completely different line here. I'm gonna mute Ellen in a second.
Oh.
So when it comes to social media posting, guys, I love the congratulatory, the new homeowner, happy birthdays, all this stuff. If you're going to showcase your sellers or buyers in any aspect, you need their permission. Okay. That's becoming an issue as of late. If someone buys a house and they're excited and you're like, hey, do you mind if I post this on my social media and celebrate it? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Then go ahead. It's better to have it in writing, but as long as you got their agreement. Make sure you have that conversation with them. And I've had client complaints lately that they're like, I never gave permission to have my picture blasted. I didn't want my ex to know I bought a house, and bad situations. So just make sure you have that conversation up front.
Does Keller Williams have a pre-made form just for
media release form? No.
Yeah.
Not for after the transaction. The only thing you have is your listing agreement, which is for the listing side, agrees to have the marketing on there, but that agreement terminates the moment it records.
Okay.
Dan, I have a question about that.
Yes, Ms.
Does it differ if you're just posting a generic picture of the house? Like I did one yesterday because I failed to get a picture with my client. So I just put sold on it. And I think they would have taken a picture with me. I know to get it in writing because I've been there. But is that sufficient? Is it okay just to have a picture of the house and put sold on it?
As long as you're not showcasing the clients at all or owning anything.
Got it. Thank you.
So, yeah, because some people take offense to it.
Yeah. I'll see if I can make up something, a legal thing, a media release after the fact. I don't know. I'll send it to you, Dan.
Yeah, I would try to, if you're doing that, try to keep the address out of it because that's part of the information.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's-
have media releases from my other job. I could probably just alter one.
I'll talk to the brokers and see how they want to handle it directly.
That's good, yeah. Because if something's uniform and all of us can use, that would be great and approved by the broker.
Gots to have it approved. That was loud, Teresa.
Sorry.
All right, guys, couple more minutes of your Friday.
Well, I got to make one point. I just put everybody on the gallery view, and it's like being on Hollywood Squares. I love it.
Hollywood Squares. I'll take that. I'm Kitty Carlisle.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I know.
I know we're too young, Dan. Just too young.
Oh, that's cute.
Why I just showed my age by mentioning Hollywood
He
Squares.
doesn't know Hollywood Squares. I'm not that old, and I know what Hollywood Squares is.
Hollywood Squares was awesome.
That
Loved
was
it.
back when TV was decent. You could actually sit down and watch it and not be just.
I'm going to make a prediction that in the next 2 weeks, you folks, all of us, are going to have the greatest time of our lives with this job because things are really they are springing loose right now. They really, really are. And just, as Dan said, answer your phone, make sure you're not a secret agent, and have fun with it. A little bit of humor, go for it.
I'll receive that prediction.
Me too.
I have a quick question. Thanks for that, Dick. That's encouraging. I'm painstakingly going through my buyers and getting them in the position to be pre-qualified before I take them out to see homes. I'm just saying this is the first step to let us know what your price range even is. I can't be showing you $350,000 house and you can, your price range is $250,000. It's a big difference. Is anyone else going through that and keeping the momentum up while they're going through getting pre-qualified or pre-approved? Some of them drag their foot. They're kind of like, they want to do the cart before the horse type of thing. And I'm just adamant about, no, let's get you pre-qualified first. That's the first step.
Well, Tess, I can answer that. I have a little saying I tell people that the first thing as a buyer, you got to have money. And it's like the famous words of the great American philosopher, Jerry Maguire, show me the money. If you can't show me that you can afford the house, how can I help you negotiate to buy a house? So you got to take this very seriously. You got to do everything that the loan mortgage people are saying about getting your credit where it has to be. But we got to have it. Otherwise, you're spinning your wheels and I'm spinning my wheels. And there's a lot of people who need our help. So let's work on it together. I'll help you out. I've got some great loan people, loan officers, but let's get that done first.
And I just say it kind of bluntly. I was like, I can't show houses until I have a pre-qual. I just leave it at that. Let the silence echo over the phone. And if you need help, I have several lenders I can help you with, but I cannot show homes until I have a pre-qual. I mean, almost like it's a rule or a law of the land or something like that. It's like, sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
right now, you
that's
don't
what
have the time to do so.
Yeah.
You don't. Like there is no time to go out and find a house that you like and then go get qualified. No, you have to have the gun loaded for bear, because when you're going out there, you're going to find it. You best be ready to write that offer in the kitchen and keep the other agent waiting in the front yard. I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's actually an ethics thing. Don't do that. But if you need to write the offer out front of the house, then write the offer out front of the house.
Don't forget writing the offer on the hood of your car too. Those are always fun.
That's awesome.
Good stories. Good stories.
I do like that, because I've got people that said we wrote the offer right there in the kitchen, or he pulled out the laptop and we wrote the offer right in the back of his truck. Yeah, we did. On the tailgate, wrote the offer, you signed it, let's go.
I'm going today at 4:00 with a former Marine, and a retired Marine, I should say. Anyway, we're going to see this one house. I was able to get us in 2 days before they're showing the house. And I already have all the contracts, everything written. I know we're going to buy the house, but I told my Marine, if you want this house, which he really does, then we write up that offer right then after we see the house, and we submit it, and I get the pre-qual letter, everything ready from the mortgage guy, and we give them until 5:00 tomorrow to say yay or nay. That's how you do it.
Good stuff. Thanks.
Be prepared. All right, guys, it is 33 after the hour. It is Friday. Go make something awesome happen today. What is your goal for the weekend?
Sell a house.
Okay, Emily's going to sell a house this weekend. What are you going to do?
Try and get a listing date.
Cole's going to get her listing signed.
I'm going to get an offer accepted.
You're going to get an offer accepted. Okay, so Dick's going to sell a house. I like it.
Here, get an offer accepted.
Greg's going to get an offer accepted. Ellen's going to get an offer accepted.
Who else is going to watch the space launch tomorrow, though? I'm going to I'm going to watch that.
Going to be fake like the last one, Dick. Just saying.
Have a great day, folks. God bless you.
Does anybody have a, hey, real quick, does anybody have a listing that I could feature on my website?
Yeah, mine.
Great.
I'll read it.
All right, send me the information. I'd love to do it. Yeah.
Got it. You can feature all of the web.
All right.
Bye, guys. Have a great Friday.
Bye-bye.